Ilhan Omar and, of course, AOC had some remarks. I want to take a little quick look and listen to them. So let's go to Ilhan first.
Donald Trump has been president for 48 hours and has rolled back the clock on so much of our progress. From ending birthright citizenship, a constitutional right guaranteed by the 14th Amendment,
which was meant for the freed slaves. This woman right here is the one of the worst kind of disrespect, because Somalis ain't really, and let's keep it a buck. On the grand scheme of things, do Somalians really fool with Black Americans like that? Hell no. Let's just keep it a thou. No. No, they do not. You can easily rock with us, but you don't. So, yeah, come on now.
To stopping refugee resettlement, to reinstating his failed...
Whoa. That would be refugee settlement, not refugee resettlement. Let's get that verbiage correct.
Program like Remain in Mexico. Immigrants are being persecuted, targeted, and treated like criminals.
Because they are. Because they're here illegally. Which, in standing in that position while being here, makes them a criminal.
Donald Trump also rolled back crucial climate initiatives. He withdrew us from the Paris Climate Accord.
No, he didn't roll back any initiatives. He withdrew you from and withdrew the country from things that we're going to foot the bill for, when nobody else in these other countries are covering their fair share. And then on top of that, you guys actually had the idiot World Health Organization forcing jabs on a planet. So, yeah, some people kind of like we're tired of your mark of the beast mentality and like, screw you? Maybe, I could be wrong.
Vowed to unleash oil and gas drilling and declared an energy emergency that ends restrictions on fossil fuel production, directly escalating the climate crisis.
That's how a lot of people made their fortune here in America, right? Gold and oil.
The vision Donald Trump and his administration have is one of division, of hate, and reversal of progress.
Man, the 14th Amendment was actually a very solid tangible to foundational Black American freedmen. Why is that now division? It's funny now, that division word comes up when it comes down to the delineation of the interpretation and meaning of a law which only pertains to us. Considering this is a representative of the Congressional Black Caucus, how would it be divisive, ma'am? Oh, because what's we're entitled to, no one else would be? That's divisive? See, that's the underhandedness of a tether. That's where you get undermining. And they come over here with, oh, see, I'm just like you. But are you hearing her undermine you right there on a podium and say, I'm going to be discriminated, using all of this language that don't pertain to her?
As members of the Progressive Caucus, we will continue to provide an alternative vision, one centered on transformative change, justice, and movement building. We will
Very interesting that she's not mentioning the Congressional Black Caucus. and the fact that she's a member of the Congressional Black Caucus. But she's over here talking about the Progressive Caucus. And doesn't mention the Congressional Black Caucus. Okay. Maybe one can say that because you want to get away from the original intent. So to have this conversation while not making it about your disdain for Black American, foundational Black American freedmen, because that's what you're doing, and you're talking about division. Well, you're not a freedman. You don't have any entitlement to freedmen benefits.
We'll keep fighting for a future that the American people deserve and give a clear-eyed alternative to mega extremism. I know many of our constituents are tired. They are tired of feeling like the game is rigged and they don't have people fighting on their behalf. Let me be clear. We, as the Progressive Caucus, are in your corner, and we will fight every single day to make sure life is better for you.
Hey, Ilhan, you do realize the people that you're talking about, the 92% and the 80% of Black Americans are already covered. Because the 14th Amendment exclusively pertains to them. It's a very crafty, evil, manipulative way to sit up here and keep referring to the Progressive Caucus about Black people. And you're taking away your representation of the Black Caucus to infuse something specifically for Black people into a progressive conversation. Tell you can't trust these people.
We will fight every day against the corruption being unleashed by Donald Trump and members of his administration. We will fight for a livable future, humane and just immigration policies, universal health care, and a future where you aren't just getting by, but you are thriving. Together, we will fight back against Donald Trump's hateful agenda. Because as much as the
See, going back to the original intent of the 14th Amendment, it's not a hateful agenda. See, we need to start examining when people are saying, we need to be asking her, what does this mean, Ilhan Omar? How is this a hateful agenda? How is going to the original intent of the 14th Amendment a hateful gesture or a hateful agenda? How? Because that says that making something that was originally for the freed slaves and their descendants, which is now being misused and abused and exploited for every other group, to get back to the original intent, to make sure that this is highlighted for this particular group, which subsequently is the base of the Democrat Party. How is Donald Trump defending your base's rights more than you? And you're calling that defense of your base hateful. 92% Black women, 80% Black men. Why are you voting for anybody like this? Why are you dedicated to a party that now is showing you how dedicated they've always been to undermining you? They're fighting to continue to undermine you. This now should be, there's no blinders here about the 14th Amendment. It is about slavery here in America and your ancestors, no one else. Not hers, not Kamala's, none of these people, not Roland's, none of them. Joy Reid, no.
Pundits and other elected officials and commentators try to normalize Donald Trump's presidency. What we are witnessing is anything but. None of this is normal.
It's literally the 14th Amendment. What's not normal about the original intent of an amendment of a country that you are a politician in? How does that make sense? Jeez.
Taking away lower prescription costs for vulnerable Americans is not normal. Pardoning insurrectionists who assaulted police officers in this capital is not normal. We are going to combat this by showcasing that our progressive movement is all about a vision rooted in decency, justice, equality, and peace for all. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, I want the American people to know, with eyes wide open, what is inside this bill. Because we stand here just 2 days after President Trump gave unconditional pardons to violent criminals who attacked our nation's capital on January 6th. And these are the people who want you to believe, who want us to believe that they're trying to, quote unquote, keep criminals off the streets. When they are opening the floodgates. I want the American people to know what is in this bill. Because in the guise and
kind of sucks that they actually found 300 something plus violent criminals in their raids. Yeah. So there's no number that you can really on the violent side really match up there. Yeah, just saying.
And in the wake of tragedy, we are seeing a fundamental erosion of our civil rights in this bill.
Yo, what? Our civil rights. Our? Ain't you a Puerto Rican? Puerto Ricans are American citizens. What are you talking about?
If a person is so much as accused of a crime, if someone wants to point a finger and accuse someone of shoplifting,
and they're here illegally, they were already breaking the law and already committing a crime. So if they get exposed by further committing another crime, then okay. Like, what the hell are we saying? Man, if this criminal gets caught and someone just wants to say, well, man, I've seen them do something and they really didn't do it, although they're still guilty of being here illegally, man, that's wrong. They should be able to skirt that part of the law.
they will be rounded up and put into a private detention camp and sent out for deportation without a day in court, without a moment to assert their right and without a moment to assert.
Whoa. There's no right or no privilege because they're not a citizen. So why would you be referring to this illegal as a citizen? They'll be rounded up, yes, because they don't have a social security number. So it's time to go back to where you came from. That's how that works. All the other stuff that you're saying, that applies to citizenship. And they don't have any, ma'am. So I don't know why you keep trying to convolute the two, although that's what liars do. But, yeah, whatever.
The privilege of innocent until proven guilty. Without being found guilty of a crime, they will be rounded up. That is what is inside this bill, a fundamental suspension of a core American value.
No, it is absolutely not. Going back to the tenements of the Constitution and the 14th Amendment and its original intent, which are actually law. And the person that blocked the law, the intent which is in the executive order, that's the law. So to say using the original intent of the law is unconstitutional is madness. So this people like, oh, he's going to be fighting this in court. No, he won't. No, he's right. The 14th Amendment's original intent does not apply to anybody who was not a citizen. That whole anchor baby thing is illegal. Straight up. It's been tolerated because these people were trying to flood the zone against us anyway. That's why this law has been bent all of this time, to assist these people burying foundational Black American freedmen economically. So again, 92% of women, Black women, 80% of Black men. What the hell are you on? You have been fighting for your own destruction, and these people now are showing it to you. So don't match this as if this is something good for you. This is an insult to you and your ancestors.
And that is why I rise to oppose it. If you're a dreamer, all someone has to do is point a finger and you will be rounded up.
See ya.
And we have seen moments like these happen before. In the Patriot Act, in the wake of the travesty of 9/11, a fundamental suspension of American civil liberties. That is what we are seeing here today. Mr. Speaker, you may wonder why so many of our friends across the aisle who care so deeply about the rule of law happen to be so desperate to pass this bill after they are unleashing people who attacked police officers here on this Capitol into roaming our streets, who are publicly saying now they want to get a gun. Suddenly, these folks care about public safety.
One thing has nothing to do with the other. I don't know why they keep referring to, he's just let out the January 6th. It's got nothing to do with these people who are here illegally. And American people, the voters, spoke with their voice and their vote. Mass deportations was on signs. That is a promise that he has to fulfill. Straight up.
I don't think so. Look no further than the price tag of this bill, $83 billion.
Now we're worried about the price.
They know that it can't be paid for. They know that the capacity is not there.
It costs less money to round up all of these illegals and get them out of our country and keep them out than it does to allow them to stay and tax and stress this system out. All of these cities' budgets are now being exposed. They're all being exposed. Democrat policy has been the worst. And these cities that are these Democratic sanctuary cities, the thing they ain't telling you is all of them are in debt. All of them are in debt. What sanctuary city is flourishing? Where?
And you know what will be there? Private prison companies are going to get flooded with money, who give this money, no doubt. I want folks at home to look. Look at what members of Congress are invested in private prison companies.
Oh, well, has that been just now? And at the prospect of illegals going to private prisons? Because Black folks been going to private prisons for a very long time. And you didn't have anything to say about that, AOC. But now that it's possible that they can end up, and again, why would you need private prisons for people you're going to deport? So that doesn't make any sense. The point is they are getting deported, not being housed. Being housed in prison would mean they're staying. This is deportation. So to say, well, in private prisons, they're not going to be housed here. They're getting deported. So there is no need for a prison. See the sleight of hand they do?
Who receive this kind of money, and look at the votes on this bill. It is atrocious that people are lining their pockets with private prison profits in the name of a horrific tragedy and the victim of crime.
Wait, tragedy?
It is shameful. It is absolutely shameful. And Mr. Speaker, I'll conclude with this. In a few months, there are members of Congress who voted for this bill who are going to pretend they didn't know about all the bad things that are going to happen because of it. So when a private prison camp opens in your town, when a dreamer...
Time has expired. I yield the gentlelady an additional 30 seconds.
So when a private prison camp opens in your town and they say, we didn't know this was going to happen, know that they did, and they voted for it. When a dreamer is disappeared from your classroom, when the President of the United States destroys what is left of the Constitution as he's announced in this attack on birthright citizenship.
That's not an attack on the Constitution. That's actually defending the Constitution to which he's sworn in to uphold. So if he chooses to stop the exploitation of the 14th Amendment, it is his duty, it is his lawful duty to defend the 14th Amendment's original intent, because he is sworn to uphold the Constitution and to end birthright citizenship. Actually goes back to the original intent of the 14th Amendment, because the 14th Amendment is not birthright citizenship. It is part, but it is a complete law that entails what these people are. And it only deals with one group of people because it's a amendment about this country. And see, here's another thing. All of these other people that call themselves Americans, here's your reality. We're more American than you can ever be. If your family came from wherever they came from, you will never be us. You can join into whiteness all you want, but you will never be a foundational citizen. And that's what we are.
They will all say, we didn't know this was coming. And I want the American people to know that they did. This vote represents it. And with that, I yield back. Thank you very much.
Which now actually brings me even more so to people's hatred of Tariq Nasheed. Because with Freedman being a status, foundational Black Americans, they always say this is a group and this is that, this is this and the other. I think the one thing that everybody missed when we say foundational Black Americans, and as I'm listening to that rigmarole, it comes and it dawns on me. We are foundational Black American citizens. We are foundational Black American citizens. That's a hell of a thing to top. That's a status for your ass. That is a status for your ass. So, ma'am,
In this room full of music's dreamers, we remember that this country was built by dreamers,
Wrong.
for dreamers,
Wrong again.
chasing the American dream.
No, and triple wrong. No, you were coming here fleeing from your failure in your homeland to come here to this country that foundational Black American citizens / freedmen built with their free labor. And then, as slaves morphed into citizens. And so the 14th Amendment's original intent is to take those foundational Blacks and make them American citizens. There is your original intent of the law. And Tariq Nasheed, boy, if you just go examine that, oh yeah, there's a reason why they was hating that man. Because the only thing that was missing from that title is the citizen. So when you think about it, put that in perspective. Foundational Black American citizen, aka freedman. That's a status. That's a status for your ass. Family, we owe nobody nothing. You hear me?
I'm here on this stage tonight because, just like the dreamers, my parents brought me to this country with nothing in their pockets but hope.
And that means you and your parents can get the hell up out of here. So for your disrespect to us, see, this is why you can't call on us now. Never forget this, family. Don't let them snooker you into, oh, well, no, it's not right. This is dreamer talk. And now that the dreamer talk is went out the window, Black Americans, you have to help us.
They showed me what it means to work twice as hard and never give up. Tonight?
You work hard and never give up? But funny, you didn't do that in your homeland. How does that make sense? Didn't take place in your homeland, but all of a sudden it's going to happen here. All right, that makes a ton of sense now. Now, here's another dreamer. Let's see what this dreamer has to say to us.
Of how many people from the Black community are telling me to go back to Mexico, telling Mexicans to go back to Mexico, because we're illegal and it's a crime.
It is.
It was also a crime when your ancestors went to Mexico, when they were escaping the white people and Mexico helped them. A lot of Mexicans got killed for that. They helped them. They help your people. We didn't oppress you guys. And this is how you guys pay us. In the past, Black people needed Mexicans. Right now, Mexicans need you guys. And in the future, you never know, because things change. Sometimes, maybe the white people are going to need us. Maybe the Black people are going to need us. You don't know, because God give us things. Give us blessings, but he can take them away so fast. So you need to be humble. You need to be humble.
Here's a little bit of humility for you. You're not white. And so they don't give a damn about you. So your wake-up call is now. Because here's the point. Black folks did run to Mexico to be free. And they also fought with y'all. There was no Mexicans that came here and fought on American soil. All liberation that was done was Blacks fighting with y'all. So let's keep it a buck. And like I said, these people, she makes a comment to say, well, sometimes the whites may need us. That's not an allegiance. What you are talking about, ma'am, is a fair weather friend. So that's not being solid. We don't have any coalition with somebody. Well, man, you need to be humble. You need to humble yourself. You were in a country that was built by black folks. We don't owe you nothing. So to sit up here and say, well, we helped you with this and that. Okay, well then why don't you address all of those anti-blacks Mexicans in LA? How about Yuri Martinez? And see, these people always think they're going to come out and tell us something. You not. And so even furthermore, just to show you, ma'am, how your counterparts, i.e. white women, actually feel about you and yours.
Question, which I talk about a lot in my book. No. The reason Americans are sensitive to the race issue particularly is because of the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. That's why we have civil rights laws. That's why we have affirmative action and set-asides. But then suddenly one day, out of the blue, people used to talk about integration all the time. It was integration. You don't discriminate against black people, which we had to spend 100 years teaching the Democrats not to do. But that is all about American blacks. It's not about someone who has never set foot in this country before. It's liberals who are the racists who say, oh, you're all brown. We're going to treat you like American blacks. And it's really kind of shocking. I mean, I don't know if maybe some of you know this. Jesse Jackson used to stand at the border denouncing the illegal immigrants coming across. Cesar Chavez denounced them as wetbacks, driving down the wages of the poor. But today, you can arrive from, the Sudan yesterday. You will get affirmative action applying to college. You will get affirmative action applying for government business loans. The 14th Amendment was about one thing, again, utterly insulting to black Americans. The 14th Amendment, why was that passed? So that someday La Raza could usher across Mexican women who were 8.5 months pregnant. They could drop a baby and say, you didn't catch.
And thinking about that, La Raza, see that whitening of the race, purifying the race. So to act like, oh, well, we helped you, miss me with that. You need to help the Mexicans. What are you kidding? You over here. So this when you hear stuff like that, that just tells you the writing is on the wall for them folks, that they didn't let y'all know y'all wasn't white. But y'all so still rooted in anti-blackness, you can't find yourself to come over here with humility. Instead, you think you're going to come to us and tell us to be humble. Oh, man, you can get your ass back to where you came from. How about that?
Me, I'm an American citizen now. No, people don't put trap doors in a constitution. No, a secret trap door. Ooh, this will surprise them. To get an amendment passed, you need a mass feeling about a big thing. We had just fought a civil war to force, again, the Democrats to stop enslaving blacks. The 14th Amendment is absolutely exclusively about black Americans. That's what it's about. And by the way, it's not about gay marriage either, but they're at least gay Americans. Here we're talking about people who've never set foot on U.S. soil before, playing a game of Red Rover with our Border Patrol for the most precious possession in the universe, citizenship in this country.
Man, shout out to dark-skinned brother in the house, man. Good to see you in the house, my brother. Thank you for being here, of course. Thank you for being a moderator and a member. Salute to you, my good brother. So the Civil War wasn't about freeing slaves either. It was about financial control. And freeing the slaves was a means to an end. You know, the one phrase from Lincoln said if he could have did it without freeing the slaves, he definitely would have done so. It was not a moral dilemma. It was a business one. And at the end of the day, just remember, everything black folks fought for in this country is just that, fought for. Never a handout. And a lot of people probably wouldn't even want to be in this country coming from other places had it not been for the fight from Black America. So let's see where. Okay, so there's a couple videos I want to play, and getting to Sister Barbara Jordan and taking it all the way back, because we're talking about the exploitation of the 14th Amendment. And so these last two videos I want to play, one is kind of long. Well, actually, both of these will be fairly long. So I want to just let these roll. I won't do too much stopping on these because I want to get through them because there's enough meat in it. I just want to let it roll. And one sister is on TikTok, and she was like, yes, please share this out. So I'm going to do that sister one better, and I'm just going to let her cook. And we're going to get out of here on that. So first, our sister Barbara Jordan, who's the first Black woman senator out of Houston, or I believe senator or representative. And so she was on the Immigrant Reform Committee. And of course, you know, she had some firm stances about immigration. So I'm gonna let her cook, because when people start trying to throw us in the mix, this is one of our icons, one of our modern historical legends, historical figures. They skip right over her and talk about Shirley Chisholm and all these other people, but let's get to one who was really solid and really about their business and stood on it. Let's hear from our good Texan sister, Barbara Jordan.
We have got to know that immigration really goes to the heart of who we are as a nation. If we are confident enough as Americans in our culture, we should welcome the legal immigrant. We should be able to accommodate diversity in our society. Are we strong enough to welcome those who ought to be in and retain a commitment to the rule of law by keeping those out who shouldn't get in? If we are to preserve our immigration tradition and our ability to say yes to the people who want to get in and seek entry, we've got to have the strength to say no to the people who are not supposed to get in. We need to make deportation a part of a credible immigration policy. As a nation committed to immigrants and the rule of law, we've got to do that balancing act. The most urgent immigration problem we face today is the unauthorized entry of hundreds of thousands of illegals. That undermines our commitment to legal immigration. Although the illegal alien may be generally law-abiding, and particularly in good economic times, maybe we need the illegals, their entry in violation of the law is a violation of our national interest. We believe a credible approach to immigration must be comprehensive. First, border management. We support a very simple view about border management: prevent illegal entries, facilitate legal ones. The second part of our strategy: work site enforcement. Employment, we believe, continues to be the principal magnet for illegal aliens coming into the country. As long as U.S. businesses benefit from illegals on their workforce, they are not going to try to help us get on top of the problem. We believe that employer sanctions must be made to work. and enhanced labor standards enforcement essential components of a strategy to reduce the job magnet. The third part of our recommendations, immigrant eligibility for public benefits, that's a major one. The Commission believes that decisions about eligibility should support the objectives of immigration policy. Using these objectives as a measure of benefit policy, we come to the following conclusions. First, legal permanent residents should continue to be eligible for needs-tested assistance programs. Our views on eligibility for benefits of illegal aliens are different from those benefits that are recommended for legal aliens. If an alien is in this country lawfully, he should receive whatever benefits a lawful resident receives. But if a person is here unlawfully, he should be entitled to no benefits. No benefits. Why the distinction between the eligibility of legal aliens and illegals? Illegal aliens don't have the right to be here. They broke the law to get here. They never intended to become a part of our social community, and they are not entitled to benefits. They have no intention to integrate.
I just want to run that last little part back again.
Are different from those benefits that are recommended for legal aliens. If an alien is in this country lawfully, he should receive whatever benefits a lawful resident receives. But if a person is here unlawfully, he should be entitled to no benefits. No benefits. Why the distinction between the eligibility of legal aliens and illegals? Illegal aliens don't have the right to be here. They broke the law to get here. They never intended to become a part of our social community, and they are not entitled to benefits. They have no intention to integrate.